What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a special day because I got a project car to work on, which is fucking awesome because now I can hack the shit out of this thing and not worry about it. I'm gonna put that 400 horsepower LT1 motor in it that I built in a previous episode, 3 episodes actually. If you haven't watched those, I'll try to link it up in the corner how YouTuber guys do it. I don't fucking know. I probably won't be able to. If not, it'll be in the description below. So, or you could just go back to my channel and fucking find it there. It's not that hard. Anyways, that's the motor that I plan on putting in this project car. So, you guys might be wondering, what did I get for a project car? Well, I never really changed things up a little, so here it is. Another Firebird. Except this one is a V6 base model. No trim. It's 93. It's really not beat up at all. There's like basically no rust on it, which is fucking awesome for a New England car. You know, the only thing that sucks about it is it's a V6 and it's got a one-legger rear end, but we'll change all that shit. But I just picked this fucker up last weekend. I haven't really had a chance to do anything with it yet, so it's in really good condition for the year, and honestly for the money I paid for the fucking thing. So I'll walk you through it. Whoever had it, the guy I bought it from didn't do all this stupid friggin' white paint or vinyl dye or whatever the fuck it is, so we got all this shit to deal with, which is not even a big deal because, to be honest, I don't really give a shit about the interior. I just want to go fast. So it's an automatic. We'll probably keep it an automatic just because obviously the Midnight Special is already a stick car. So yeah, plan on putting the LT1 in this thing. I want to get it running before I do anything with it, so if I could at least pull this motor and sell it, I could probably make back what I have into the fucking thing, which would be really good because this whole project is, you know, a budget build. Obviously you saw the 400 horsepower for $400. That's what's going in this thing, and you guys are gonna shit when you find out what I paid for this thing. 300 bucks. No lie, guys, 300 bucks. And scope the WS6 wheels that I got for free. Huh? 17-inch WS6 wheels. The tires aren't that great, but I got them for free, and I only paid 300 bucks for the fucking thing, which is fucking great. I love the rear end on the base models. I think that looks so fucking cool. And it looks, this thing rides so much higher than the Midnight Special. Look at the ground clearance difference. This one is probably, looks like there's 6 inches of clearance. Then you come over here, and you can barely get a friggin' sheet of paper under this car, which is fine because I like it like that. But here she is. I'm really stoked for this project. I really can't wait to get going on the putting the new motor in and everything. But I want to, like I said, I want to get this thing running first, see if I can get it running. It'd be really nice if we could sell this fucking thing and go from there. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm gonna do is steal the battery from the Midnight Special, toss it in this fucking thing, and just see what it does. Maybe it cranks, maybe it doesn't. I'm going to show you one thing though that I noticed. The key. You guys notice anything weird about this key? There's no resistor chip in it. So this is definitely not the key that came with the car. And I can already tell that it's already got a VATS bypass. I don't know if the camera's good enough to see under there. There's a resistor right in there. But I don't know if it's bypassed right. I don't even know if that's the problem. I don't even know if there is a problem. But we're going to put a battery in, crank it, and see what happens. So, stay with me. Alright guys, so I stuck the battery in this thing. I'm really not sure what's going to happen. I do have lights. Oh, they're green. Oh, weird. Okay. So we're going to stick the key in this fucking to see what it does. Ooh, we got beeping. We got nothing. But at the same time, I don't have the security light either, so maybe it's not the VATS. think what I'm gonna do is bust out the digital multimeter and just check all these fuses and see where we're at with that. So yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna set my multimeter to the continuity mode just to make sure we have continuity across all these fuses. Hear the beep? Alright, so all the fuses are good. We got some weird shit going on here under the dash. I'm going to take the resistance reading on this Alright guys, to be honest, at this point, I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to jack this thing up and take a look at the starter and make sure the connections on the starter are good. For all we know, the starter could be bad. I mean, could be the ignition switch, could be a lot of different things. So I think I'm just going to put this thing up on the ground, up off the ground on the jacks, and just have a look real quick. Alright guys, I just got another clue of what I think it might be. Or it could be a multitude of things, but the other thing I'm thinking of is, so the key's not in the ignition, so the key's in the off position, and I can take the gears and put it in any gear I want. So this thing's obviously been modified, and then also I see this little doorbell thing over here, which I think at one point might have been hooked up to the neutral safety switch. So this thing might not realize that it's in park, and that's why I can't get the key to fire off. So I think what I gotta do is investigate the neutral safety switch and just make sure that thing is in working order. And if that's not, that could be the issue. At first I thought it was VATS, but I'm not getting the security light on the dash right there. So that's interesting. I mean, matter of fact, to be honest with you guys, I'm not getting any fucking lights on the dash. Watch this. See that? There's no lights at all up there. Who knows? I think I'm gonna pull this console apart and check out the neutral safety switch wiring. First I gotta go inside and grab a wiring diagram and make sure I'm fucking with the right thing first. So I'll do that, and I'll get back to you guys. So, peace for now. Alright guys, so some more weird clues of what could be going on here. I pulled this fuse box and noticed that there's a jumper wire right here. It looks like that's for the AIR pump, the air pump, the smog pump, which that wouldn't make a difference whether it starts and runs or anything. So that I can excuse for now. I'm going to check these fuses, but I was also poking around and found this. So on these GM cars, this purple wire right here goes all the way to the starter. That's the resistance check for the security system. GM calls it VATS, V-A-T-S. That's the vehicle anti-theft system. So this purple wire that you see right here, this runs all the way from the PCM all the way down to the starter, and it connects right next to the normal battery wire. And I noticed it's chewed off, like somebody must have jumped it. So somebody obviously couldn't get this thing started, and they tried their wiring prowess, which is fucking horrible. And now I'm left trying to deal with this shit, which is fine. I also noticed this yellow wire here isn't hooked up to anything. This green one right here is spliced for some reason, and there's a jumper splice on the AC line, which is also fucking weird. I was wondering if maybe this was in there. And then I come over to the alternator and I notice this handy dandy work right here. It looks like somebody tried to put a new connector on here and, you know, didn't really do that great of a job. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say that the reason this car isn't running is purely electrical. And I think I'm going to be able to get it running. I think I can. And if not, it's fucking coming out anyway. My LT1 is going in, so honestly I could really give a shit, but I would love to get it running just for my own satisfaction and to make a little money back on this thing. So I think what I'm going to do right now is go online and just pull a bunch of wiring diagrams up and see what these wires do, especially this yellow one here. I think this one's really weird. I'm not even really sure where this goes. It looks like it goes all the way to the firewall, so this could be a good indication of why it's not starting. The neutral safety switch inside could be a really good indication. This purple wire scratched up like this, along with no chip in my key, makes me think somebody thought that it was a VATS issue. Could be a VATS issue, might not be. Could be a culmination of a few things. But really, at this point, I think what's going to benefit me is to just take a look at some wiring diagrams and just see where we're at. Just make sure all these wires are in the right spot. I didn't even jack it up yet to see if the starter is wired right, but this wire here goes all the way, goes down to the starter. So that being said, what I'm going to do right now is get those wiring diagrams and figure this shit out, and I'll get back to you. So, holy crap, guys, she's running. It was only a fuse this whole time. I just popped a new fuse in and boom, fired her up, and then there she was. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's the midnight special. But I did find out what the problem was. Hold on one second, let me shut the car off. All right. I wish it sounded like that, guys. Soon enough and it'll sound like that. But let me show you what I found. I took the steering column out, and it turns out we got an issue with the ignition switch. You can see the burnt up terminal right there. I'm assuming that's pretty much why I'm not getting any power to the ignition. If not, it's a really good start. And the other thing that I noticed, I'll show you in here, a lot of this wiring is butchered to shit. I don't know if the camera can see in here. This GoPro friggin' sucks, but you might be able to see this. This is the ignition switch wiring. This one is frayed all the way back there. There's another one up here that's sliced and grounding out onto the other one next to it. So there's all kinds of electrical issues with this car, which is right up my alley because I'm an electrical engineer, so I can figure this shit out, no problem. Obviously, I just pulled the column and figured that bullshit out. So I think what I'm gonna do is go to AutoZone, pick up another ignition switch, fix some of this wiring, and go from there. And if I can get this friggin' V6 started, I'd be pumped. If not, it's coming out for the LT1 anyways. Alright guys, so I put the new ignition switch in, and I also noticed that we were missing some fuses in this fuse panel over here, and I also cleaned up a lot of the really messed up wiring that there was. There was a ton of skinned wires and a ton of like burnt out wire sections that I had to take out and replace. So I did all that, and then you'll never fucking believe it, guys. Ready for this? She's a runner. She's a runner, guys. There's barely no oil pressure. I don't even know if there's oil in the fucking thing. There might be, there might not be. I don't really know, and I don't really care, but I know everything works, the engine runs, I'm satisfied. I thought that was really fucking cool. So basically, for 300 bucks, I picked this car up, and I spent 36 bucks on the ignition switch. So I'm into this thing for 336 bucks so far, which isn't bad at all. So that's it. I just wanted to make this video to show you guys the new project car, tell you what direction I'm going with this thing. I'm glad I got it all running in one episode for you guys. That was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. And yeah, that'll just do it. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. I take that back, guys. I just checked, and the gauge fuse was missing, so I replaced that, and we have really, really good oil pressure. So this thing's actually a fucking runner. This thing sounds good. So basically what I'm gonna do is put this engine for sale, see if I can recoup some of the money that I paid for this whole car. That'd be cool. And that's really it. All right, see you guys.